Okay, that was well done. He's waiting out the flash there. The response works around it. Cheeky smile. I like it. I like it. Hey guys, we got something really special for you today. Yesterday, apparently, I heard that Baus carried on Vi top. So we're going to take a look at that game because I'm very excited to see this. I've been working on the Vi top guide, so I'll be interested in seeing what he has to do. So he hits a very nice Q flash early on. This is scrims for Los Ratones, so it is more a pro play vibe, but we're gonna see how he's able to pull this off because he's playing Lethality vibe top against pro players. So let's turn on the sound and let's see what they're able to cook up. So I'm gonna see how good is Bausffs Vi really. We're gonna give some sort of criticism, see what he's doing well, what you can learn from it, how you can maybe play Vi top, because I do think Vi in the solo lane is very underrated. It's been good for a long time, and Lethality Vi is something I've done for a long time. So if you don't know who I am, I was ranked 1 Vi at a certain point, and I was actually playing Lethality Vi during all of that. So it's gonna be very fun to see how he's able to pull this off. I'm gonna take a look at this build. I saw his rune page. I have some questions about it. He went conditioning and overgrowth, which I do think makes a little bit sense, but I'm a big fan of Shield Bash this season. It's doing a lot of damage. It's good for trading, so we're gonna see a lane swap here, which sort of makes sense because he would play. That is a crazy Q. It was actually well done. He got the 3 minions. The Maokai matchup is not that easy. You probably could just scale up, and Vi in lane actually scales really well. Many see Vi as an early game champion, but she's really not. She's scaling better and better with that each season. They've nerfed a lot of her base damage, but buffed her scaling damage, so she becomes crazy strong. She's also one of the big reasons she's very good in the solo lane, both mid and top at the moment, especially mid in my opinion. I think she's even better mid, but Baus is top laner. It's because she's extremely good with resources, and we're seeing this in this split because Vi has become a lot better in season 15 than she's been in season 14 in solo queue, and a big reason for it is because naturally we get more resources, not in items, but the flowers that we're collecting throughout the game gives us adaptive force, which does buff our damage quite a lot. Very nice farming here. Able to pick it up. He's just saving as much HP as possible. And we're also getting free XP. And Vi with XP and adaptive force is extremely strong. He's looking for a trade. I was not the best Q. You probably could have held on a little bit longer. What you many times want to do is that you want to hold on to your Qs so you can see his dodging pattern, wait him out a bit, and then you can be 100% sure you can land it. Of course, don't take a bunch of free damage. So a little bit of a bad trade there. If he hits the Q, he might be able to look for the kill actually. Picks up the call. I don't hate it. He's going to sit here and scale for a long time, playing a little bit of weak side. So what's very important with Vi top is actually just to survive the laning phase and get as much resources as possible, because when you hit 2 item power spike, 1-2 item power spike and even 3 items is when Vi really becomes quite strong. So he's not wasting any mana there. He's just holding on to Z. That's very good. Picks up the refillable. I like that as well. I also like to go longsword. You can go Doran shield, which I don't mind. I do that in some very like tough lanes to play. It is very good to help you with the sustain in the early game. Oh, he was looking for it. Okay, so he's going to proxy. I don't know how much I like this. Vi has very good wave clear, but I think this is pretty unnecessary. He could have just farmed. And everybody was off the map. So not crazy about this play. Let's see, but this is classic Baus style. Is he able to get can? Okay, got it actually. So not terrible, but I think that was a little bit unnecessary. I think it would have been completely fine because it wasn't like he was low, right? And he had to like dive for the wave. Then it would have been a little bit different because in this sort of a scenario, he would have been able to get and dive there with 3 on the bot lane. So interesting, interesting. It's 3-3. Let's see what he's gonna be able to do. So many times with Vi top, you need to wait for that level 6. She's not that strong in lane early. In some matchup, you are able to look for those trades level 3, like he tried to do with the Varus. If he hits that Q, as I said, you might have some holding potential. I love the fact that he's going Halo Blades. It's much better than anything else, pretty much. You can go Conqueror in some Bruiser melee matchup. But I love Halo Blades. I love going full lethality Vi, or lethality into crit. So let's see what his build is going to be. I'm excited to see. I know he's going full damage. That's the only thing I do know. There he gets to level 6. Goes for the all-in. Love that. Not bad. I actually want to take a look back. So I think you could have just led on with the skew here. Because Varus goes into Q range. And you could have just started with the Q. Here, if he just goes with the Q, you can get a fully charged Q. I don't hate that he's saving it either. I think that was smart Q there, so he doesn't, like, if Varus flash it, it's not going to be able to follow him and then go into the river if he flashed it, which he did. So that was a good play. It would also knock him more towards him than his teammate. Oh, I like that flash Q. That's really good. He's dead. We should give this kill to Vi. Yeah, that's well played. That's really well played. So you can use that. That's a very important trick to learn, which you might be underusing, is that when you're looking for this sort of all-ins, or you're looking for your ganks, for example, if you play Vi jungle, many times the enemy team will try to block it, and you can just like charge a Q and wait for abilities. Yeah, let's see. He does have Halo Blades. He will get passive now. Held on to his abilities a little bit too much. I think they can find something there, maybe. It's tough though. It's tough. But yeah, you can just like charge the Q and hold it, and then you can use your flash to work around the enemies. No, or you can go with the Q to the side and then flash back in, so you can work around those supports or tanks that is trying to block your combos. Here, rotate into top. Now they're back into laning phase. Mike is a horrible champion for to play against. He should be able to just like farm and go even and scale and be a menace in team fights, assassinating that backline. But Marco is one of the worst champions to play against because of his Q. So what you need to have to do is to very often bait his Q with your Qs. You channel it like you're going to hit him, and then you just hold on. Just like Fiora parry, you gotta charge Q, bait his Q, his knockback, because his knockback will actually hit you before you're able to connect. So many times in this sort of matchups, you will even each other out. But that doesn't work on the Maokai Q. That's why Maokai is actually very good into Fiora, for example. So that was classic Balls fashion. He's using the Demon Vi skin, which makes sense. Because he is the very killable Demon King after all. Okay, his team is cooking. It's going to be very exciting to see how Los Retones is going to do throughout this season. It's going to be a lot of fun to pay attention. I've been asking for this sort of a like team for a while. I would love to see that. A bunch of streamers that is just like cooks up a team, or ex-pros. It's good content, and I think they're actually like really good players. So it's gonna be fun to see what they're able to do, or how they match up against actual pro players. It'll be fun. Is he gonna go W or E? I think W is much better. He is going W. Beautiful, beautiful. Many fall into the mistake of maxing out E. This is something we used to do in the past on Vi, but that's when Vi's E was a lot better than it is right now, because better. It was scaling better with ranks into it. Now they buffed it. They buffed the rank 1 E, and they nerfed the base damage, and they also nerfed how it increases over time. They also buffed the E cooldown level 1. He makes... I don't know why he's so eager to proxy when it's not necessary, because he's not struggling in lane, and he's just taking a bunch of bad trades on the tower for the sake of proxying. Okay, that was well done. He's waiting out the flash there. The response works around it. Cheeky smile. I like it. I like it. That can be really hard on Vi, and you need to be able to bait us when you're trying to escape. You need to kind of bait them and navigate that queue while you're charging it. So it's going Ghost Play, this looks like. Very interesting. Not a huge fan. I also saw him go a Relentless Hunter. I really recommend Treasure Hunter. I actually go this both in the jungle now and the lane, and it makes more sense in the jungle because you're moving around a lot. I don't hate it. I think swiftness boots are very good. It's either swiftness or the safety boots with this kind of build for the most part, unless you have extreme value from either Mercs or Thebausffs, because the enemy drafted poorly. But swiftness boots are amazing. They also, the slow reduction also works on your self slow on the queue, which is very nice. It helps you land it a lot and getting to range, because when you're running after people and charging it, it's going to be a lot easier to hit because you can get up much closer and you can position in a completely different way. Able to bait out the Mark W. I like that. Viego is here, but more people are coming. Oh, he should have tried to Q at the last second there, because then you can actually buffer it. There's still able to kill him here for sure, but nice. Vi gets it. I like it. Is he able to pick up a ghost play now? If so, he's going to become quite strong actually. And if someone's in the side end, he's very likely to be able to pick them up. For example, if he has ultimate here, he can straight up just kill Varus in 3 seconds. It's really good. Oh, he got a nice flank here. This has to be good. Yeah. And then you... Nice. Beautiful. Good combo overall. He's doing the autos, dodging the side. Yeah, I like it. Okay, he goes for the flash. Yeah, he has the ult there. Q, auto. Really well done. Like, looking at Thebausffs Vi is actually quite clean. He's pretty quick with his combos, his auto attacks. He's playing well. Overall, playing well. Just sending the Q flash there. He knew that Silas didn't have E, so Silas couldn't E just over to Krugs there, because then the flash would have been really bad. He would have just pushed him against the wall, and then Silas would have E'd over there. I like that. Look at him smiling. So in the wave clear, yeah, you just E one time and then you Q. You don't want to waste both your E's, because if there's a fight or when you're trying to push the tower, you want to keep one of those E's. Oh, a little bit late, so he wasn't able to travel all the way out there. Yeah, he has to run this way because Viego, but yeah, he's pretty cooked. He's really good at dodging the enemies while charging Q. He's still really dead there, but he's still going to be able to pick up his call. He's got a Dirk. I love him committing to lethality. The build I prefer, and which I do think is the best. I don't hate the Ghost Blade. I think it's pretty good, but I love Hubris. Hubris is a crazy item. They are playing like pro play. They're screaming, and it is less volatile, and Hubris is better in that sort of a scenario. So I don't mind this that much. I would have maybe preferred to see an Eclipse, maybe, because Eclipse is a lot better for laning than I like the Ghost Blade maybe in pro play. Okay, and able to pick that up. The Ghost Blade. So the move speed is nice, but it's not that, like, in the same way that Hubris is better in solo queue because it's more volatile, Ghost Blade is also better in solo queue because oh, you can look here. Yeah, Stereo Vision. Beautiful. He's playing this really good. He's playing kiting, waiting for his ultimate. Maybe overstepped a little bit. He can kill this. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. I do think maybe he should... A couple of times now, he's led with his ultimate instead of leading with his Q there. You can get more damage. So I would have kind of liked to see him when he's spacing and he does get that Q back. He could have went in for the Q first, get Q auto E with that cooldown, and then into ultimate. You're still able to basically chain them, especially when you have Halo Blades. That's one of the beauties of Hillbillies, is because you can do that combo so quickly, and then you can still CC chain them. It's extremely important. That's why Electrocute is so much worse, because you go in with Q, auto, E. That combo is much slower, and that means you're not able to chain the ultimate with the Q in the same way they're able to hit you if you go for the Q, auto, E, and now you press ultimate. They're going to be able to do stuff in the meantime because your combo is so slow with no attack speed. If that's why Trinity Force is quite good with Conqueror, for example, at the moment in the jungle. But I absolutely love seeing Vi here. He's going to go Collector, surely. I do think Collector is the best second item when you're committing to lethality. Umberglaive used to be really good in the jungle last split, but in this new season, you don't have Zombie Ward, and that really takes away a lot of power from Umberglaive, and you don't want to run Umberglaive in lane, of course, so I've been running a lot of Hubris into Collector, and it's extremely fun. I've also done Essence River because Vi can run into some mana issues. He's being very conservative with his mana, which is important, because if you form a Q around and use your E on every wave, you will run out of mana quite quickly because you don't have the jungle pet, which gives you a lot of mana regen. That can be really important. Oh, he almost got his collector here. Sold his call. That could be the reason he's going with Ghost Blade and Swiftness, because you can see he's not queuing around that much. He's using it mostly on a wave, and sometimes if he need it, and that way you're able to preserve a lot of mana. That might be the reason he's going for the Ghost Blade. I do like the Hubris into Essence River. Look at that combo. Like, it's so fast and you do so much damage. Like, without Halo Blaze there, you never get a kill. Then you have to, like, chase him for a long time after. But many times then the enemy team is able to help him out. Then the Rakan would have been able to be there, right? So, and Varus is so surprised there too. That's the reason he dies. If he knows that he has to flash that initial Q, you don't get a kill, but people are not used to playing against Vi in this way. They don't know that they have to flash that that first Q because they will just go one shot, and you can see the smirk there as well. It's fun. His Vi is good, man. Yeah, I like the Q into R a little bit more because it means you can get more autos off. Usually, you can get in Q auto E or Q auto R. Then an auto attack before they're out of the stun, which means he could have potentially had 2 more kills in this game. He's still doing really well. I do think with the Hubris, it would have done a lot more damage. The movement speed is useful here, though. Oh, that's a scary Q to use. It does get wave, which is what Baus cares the most about in life in general. For his like proxying, running away, wasting enemies' team's time, I guess the Ghost Blade is quite useful. The Swiftness boots I love regardless. A little bit of a problem with this build after the changes is that it doesn't give any sort of CDR. That's also a big reason I love Hubris. It gives you everything you need. It gives a bunch of AD, which is great for Vi scaling because she's got 160% AD scaling on her Q and 110% bonus scaling, bonus AD scaling on her E, 90% on her ultimate, and for every 35 AD approximately, you get an extra 1% max damage, max health damage on your each W proc, which is crazy. And Hubris, you're able to get like 100 AD in many games, which is absolutely bonkers on Vi with those sort of scalings, which is why I do love it. So I do think if you play a little bit less for the proxying, which I do think, man, a little bit unnecessary in this game, I think you could get more damage, which is crazy to think about because it's still like almost one-shotting, right? Most champions. But if you have the Hubris here, you can just like completely one-shot the Silas. Oh, it's close. Oh, nice ultimate to knock them back. You see the movement speed though, coming in clutch here. Braum is dead. And he's also dead. He didn't see the mark up from behind, which is fair. If he run through the lane, he could have been able to get out, but I don't think that was a big mistake, but I do think in these sort of scenarios, you're gonna have quite a lot more damage with the hubris. You're gonna have like 300 damage more in the combo on Silas, and I think he can just like commit to that kill instantly, get the kill and get out with that extra damage. So I would have loved to see him do that. I think I have seen him run hubris before, and maybe bought it a little bit later, which I definitely don't like. You want to stack up that as early as possible, and it does give you everything you need. It gives you haste, which is what you don't have with this build. And the Q is extremely good for those trading. If you can keep going for this, it's kind of similar to Gragas, right? If you have that really low Q cooldown and Gragas has the low E cooldown, it's very hard to trade with you. At a certain point, Vi gets level 9, and a little bit later on, when you have some CDR, you just like keep knocking them, and they're not able to move. It's extremely annoying to play against. That's also why I like the Eclipse when you're laning, because it's so extremely good for trading with that shield, and you can like every 4 seconds you can go in for a little bit of a chunk and a combo, and you get the shield, and they're not able to trade back. So it's moving really quickly with the Ghost Blade. I would have procced the Ghost Blade here to get it a little bit sooner. His team does die. This is not Bowser's fault. They got caught. That's not good. He could have waited a little bit and got the wave. That was a crazy one. Dude, is he able to kite him off? Maybe stole the Arcatan? Arcatan should still be gone here. It's 25 seconds. I think he could have just like let the enemy team go top, get the wave, and maybe try to play for the tower with this Azir. It's small. It's small. Really good move here to get back to the bot lane though. Push out that as fast as possible. So they got some pressure and tempo after the enemy team needs to recall after taking Arcatan. I'm excited to see what he's going to build third. I would have probably built Mortar Minder, because the enemy team has quite a lot of healing. The crit is really, really good. He picks up the boots, which makes sense. He's just sitting on the Dirk. I don't know if he's going to commit to the Dirk, because the enemy team is also getting a lot of armor. And I don't think that would have been a really good item this game, Mortal Reminder. You can absolutely destroy the Maokai then. It's really going to help. Rakan has a lot of healing. Sidus has a lot of healing. I think that's probably the best item in this scenario. But yeah. Conditioning and overgrowth is scaling really well. I'm running Shield Bash and Revitalize instead, which I think is better actually, in fact. Because Revitalize gives you, like overgrowth helps, and it gives you a little bit of scaling. But the thing is, your Revitalize buffs your HP, or your passive more than overgrowth. Nice combo is choking out big there. So I think Shield Bash and Revitalize is a little bit better. Shield Bash also does like 1500, 2k to 3k damage every single game, which is crazy good with those procs. Okay, so it looks like he's gonna go with the Mortal Reminder. I like it. That's very good. He should probably skip that third Dirk and went straight for it. Built the Executioner first, because then at that point they didn't have that much armor, and then the Last Whisper wouldn't have the same value. Now I think Last Whisper is correct. But if we went just the Executioner into the Longswords, I think that would have been better than the Dirk. Yeah, he can. Ooh.
He's low. He's very low. But I don't think I can go on him. I don't have ult.
Playing well. Huge chunk. He's just playing slow. You don't have ultimate, you don't have flash, then you need to be really careful as well, because both your R and can be used for safety, to buffer CC, and to trade 1-for-1. If not, it's very easy to get caught. So when you don't have your ultimate, you don't have flash, it's very important to be careful. Oh, that's... Oh, he got baited. Silas uses ultimate. Maokai is waiting. He's mega dead. He's stalled though. They do get the Drake here, which is pretty good actually. Classic balance. Passion, drawing attention, dying, but being useful for his team. Baron is not up yet. If Baron is up, this is a horrible play for pro play. I love his smirks, man, because he knows what he's doing.
No Maokai ult, no Maokai ult.
My ultimate is really low cooldown though. They're talking about it.
No, they have it.
So yeah, he needs to get that mortal miner. He would have had mortal miner now, which I think would have been much better than like the third Dirk makes him better at that exact moment, but every moment after that, you're going to be weaker for a long while. So I don't know if that was worth. They weren't able to do it, use it for a whole lot. If there was a really important fight coming up, you can justify it sometimes because like Akathon is spawning, we need to be as powerful as possible. Everybody, we know we're going to fight it. I think those sort of calls are useful, but yeah. I would love to see some Chinese combos from Baus. You know what I'm talking about? The R flash or some hectic Q flash in those in these team fights. So with Vi, you want to push out the side as much as possible. You got great wave clear. So either you pressure the lane, and then you can just like wave clear and run away, and then you can try to group with the team because Vi is great force, right? So especially with this sort of a build, you got Swift's Ghost Brigade. You can pick up the wave and then move to your team, and then you can play with an extra player. You can try to look for a 4v5. You can try to look for a pick. You have one extra player. That is really useful, and that's a way you can use wave clear. If not, you can just like try to push and threaten dives, threaten the 1v1. Maokai, you're not able to do this. Soul side is moving over. You just be careful. Smart here, he's catching the wave a little bit later because he saw the Silence and Diego move over. Maokai is looking to threaten here. They got TP. Oh, he's just sending it. I would have probably liked them to see go for a little bit of trade on Maokai maybe. But maybe this is good. Yeah, they're just bursting it down. Beautiful. Maokai TP comes in, but it's too late. Baus is... It's too... that's the thing, right? He got the wave. Now he's got a little bit of... Oh, that's a crazy Q. You don't know. That's not a good death. Boss, that is a horrible death. Oh no. It's really important to keep Baron. Especially in the solo lane. When you're jungling with Vi, is like less important. You should still keep it because it is a really good buff. You get AD, you get AP, which gives you crazy E damage actually, because it has a one-to-one scaling. But when you're playing in the solo lane, you want to push the sides, and having that Baron makes a huge difference. So quite a terrible death there. You just sent it on the Maokai. But okay, his team is smurfing though. He didn't go with the Mortal Miner, which I hate. I do think in many cases that Mortal Miner, Lord Omnix is better on Lethality Vi than Mortal Miner. But Mortal Miner is so close to a to Lord Omnix at the moment in terms of just like raw stats, that if they have this sort of healing and is this tanky, I do think you can justify it because the argument is when you if they're squishier and they don't have this much healing, you're one-shotting, right? So they're not able to heal. So many times my team will ask me like, why are you not going here? Okay, I think they're just end. Yeah, it's over. So, cool game. That's the Chinese combo right there. That's a win for Baus. Crazy. But yeah, what I was talking about is that you're one-shotting no matter what with the Lord Omnix, so it doesn't really matter because they're not going to be able to heal because you one-shotting them while they're CC'd. Look at him, most damage in the game on Vi. It was not like a crazy carry. Everybody played well, but Baus also played well. His Vi is good, guys. So we need to do some more reviews. I think it was fun to see. I would have liked to see him play more of a solo lane or a standard laning phase from the get-go. I mean, Baus tends to go for the proxying regardless, which I do think is fine. But yeah, it would have been interesting to see. The Maokai matchup is quite tough though, so that's why they went for the swap. Very interesting. I love this. But yeah, Baus's Vi is legit, guys. It's legit. I've seen this sometimes. Baus, if you ever see this, thanked for LP a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, I appreciate you guys. Like the video if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah.